All right, y'all, day one.
Go.
Y'all, we talked about it. Excited about the opportunities, right? Excited about the opportunity we have. Starts right now. The devil's in the details. Everything we do. Detail-oriented, purposeful, intentional, high level of communication.
Welcome back, everyone. Day one of Indiana Fever training camp is officially in the books, and if this first session is any indication, this team is not just rebuilding, they're reloading. From the intensity on the court to the chemistry already forming, it's clear the Fever are serious about making a playoff push in 2025. And at the heart of it all is Caitlin Clark, flanked by a revamped roster that blends elite young talent with rugged, championship-tested veterans.
Beep, 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 beep. Let's go, day one.
Caitlin Clark walked into training camp like a seasoned pro. She wasn't wide-eyed or overwhelmed. Instead, she was commanding huddles, actively communicating on defense, and directing.
Excited. Day one, I'm excited. Let's go. Go time, go Fever.
Excited. Ready to see what happens.
Pretty good, ready to get started. Let's do this.
And directing offensive sets like a floor general. Coaches raved about her vocal leadership, but what stood out most was her pace. Everything sped up when the ball was in her hands. Clark and Aaliyah Boston are already building something scary. Whether it was pick and roll reads, skip passes to the corner, or high-low touches, the two connected with natural synergy. Boston even said,
All right, I feel great. I'm really excited, and I know it's gonna be a lot of hard work. No, okay. I thought she was gonna go.
afterward, "We've been texting about plays. She sees the floor differently. And I love that. The additions of Natasha Howard, Kristy Wallace, and Erica Wheeler weren't just about depth. They were about changing the Fever's identity. Natasha Howard immediately set the tone physically, getting into people defensively and talking trash in scrimmages. The message, no more pushovers. Don't be surprised if Sophie Cunningham becomes the emotional leader of this team. She was barking out rotations, clapping in players' faces, and setting hard screens. Hard screens. She's here to be the protector and to make sure nobody tries to punk Caitlin Clark. You could feel the difference. Defensive drills were longer, more physical, and involved constant communication. Coaches stopped practice multiple times to point out good defensive rotations, and players were celebrating stops more than...
Of course, you have Caitlin. She had such a phenomenal rookie season, so many great accolades, and I think the jumping from season 1 to season 2 players can also make a really big jump, so I'm excited to see her growth from year 1 and year 2, and she hasn't reached her ceiling yet either, so I'm really excited to watch her growth.
More than buckets. That's a culture shift. One of the biggest surprises to some of the returning vets was just how quick Caitlin Clark reads the floor. On one possession, she threw a left-handed bullet pass from half court into a tight window for a layup. Natasha Howard reportedly said, "Damn, that was a rookie." NaLyssa Smith came into camp in incredible shape and is embracing her role as a dynamic two-way forward. The coaching staff is testing her with more off-ball movement, mid-post actions, and even some trail threes. Don't be shocked if she becomes the Fever's X-factor this year. Coach Sides was active, vocal, and laser-focused on execution. She's demanding pace on offense, pressure on defense, and wants every possession to matter. And perhaps most importantly, she's empowering Caitlin Clark to...
Two-time WNBA champion Sydney Colson is officially signing a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever. So, Fever just keep on doing what they've been doing. They're not playing no games in Indiana.
First of all, this WNBA free agency will not let us rest, number one. We literally cannot rest. But also, I love this move again. Sydney Colson is a great player, but she's also a player that is going to add even more to what we're going to talk about later, and that's that chemistry.
Be the extension of the coaching staff on the floor. Kelsey Mitchell didn't need to dominate the ball to stand out. Her ability to move without the ball and hit quick trigger threes fits perfectly next to Caitlin Clark. The Fever are designing sets that allow Clark to draw double teams while Mitchell feasts off the attention. Acquired to shore up the interior, Brianna Turner is already earning praise for her rim protection and rebounding. She's not asking for touches, just controlling the glass, hedging hard on screens, and being the silent anchor this team desperately needed. Wheeler isn't just a veteran backup, she's a mentor. She was seen coaching Caitlin through sets, pointing out weakside reads.
You always picture it when you see it on social media, oh, we have DB, oh, we have Tosh, but now to be in the same place, in the same building, on the same team, it's a great feeling.
And helping her adapt to WNBA spacing. Their connection looks like it will be foundational for Clark's growth this season. One thing is clear, this team is going to run. In every scrimmage segment, they pushed off makes and misses, with Clark initiating transition offense before defenses could get set. Expect Indiana to be among the league's leaders in pace this year. Veterans, rookies, and returning players all seem locked in. There's no tension about roles, no visible egos. The energy in drills, the communication, the willingness to do the dirty work, it's a sign that the locker room is aligned and hungry. Day one of training camp felt like a national event. Media swarmed the facility and WNBA social teams were posting non-stop. That's what Caitlin Clark brings, a national spotlight. And the Fever are leaning into it, not running from it. Coach Sides had the team working through various defensive coverages, but switching on the perimeter was the biggest takeaway. The Fever want versatility, big wings who can switch across 2 to 4 and still stay sound. Expect growing pains early, but the long-term plan is clear. Grace Berger didn't look like a sophomore. Her decision-making, mid-range shot, and defensive discipline were on display. She might not start, but she's carving out a reliable rotation role by simply doing the little things right. Kristy Wallace was one of the most consistent shooters in drills and looked confident attacking closeouts. Don't overlook her. She's going to get real minutes, especially if the Fever want to run 3-guard lineups with defensive toughness and floor spacing. After practice, players stayed around to shoot together, talk through plays, and build chemistry off the court. Clark and Boston were seen laughing with Wheeler and Howard. There's a sense of camaraderie brewing, and that matters. Celeste Taylor may not make the final roster, but her energy, defensive instincts, and early chemistry with Clark were impressive. In one sequence, she picked off a pass and immediately dished to Clark for a transition 3. Those little plays show she belongs. Several players reported coming into camp stronger, and it showed, especially in rebounding drills and post defense. Aaliyah Boston and NaLyssa Smith both looked more explosive, while Caitlin Clark's added muscle was evident in her ability to absorb contact and maintain balance during drives. Team staff revealed that Clark arrived early to watch film, not just of Fever sets, but of opposing WNBA defenses. She's already breaking down traps, weak side help rotations, and identifying defenders she can target. That's not just talent, that's elite preparation. The coaching staff wants to let it fly. With Clark, Mitchell, Cunningham, and Wallace spacing the floor, the Fever are working on early threes in transition, pick and pop sets, and flare screens. The goal? To jump from a bottom-tier 3-point team to a top-5 volume team. Last year, poor communication led to defensive breakdowns. This year, it's already night and day. Players were calling out screens, talking through switches, and self-correcting. Sophie Cunningham was especially vocal, often directing teammates during live scrimmages. When Brianna Turner and Aaliyah Boston shared the floor, the paint was virtually off limits. Their length and timing disrupted multiple drives and forced perimeter players to settle for jumpers. That duo has potential to be a top-tier defensive frontcourt. Wallace looked like more than a spot-up shooter. She handled the ball in pick and rolls, guarded bigger wings, and finished through contact. the Fever may unleash her as a high-minute sixth player who brings two-way versatility every night. You wouldn't expect inbounding to stand out, but Clark's vision even on sideline and baseline plays caught defenders off guard. Twice she caught sleeping defenders and zipped the ball for instant buckets. Think Luka Doncic level inbound IQ. Coach Sides incorporated high-pressure, time-and-score situations into day one. End-of-quarter plays, late-game defense, and substitution patterns were rehearsed. This isn't just practice, it's simulation. The staff wants this team to close games with poise. The Fever have a revamped approach to recovery, diet, and workload management. Players were introduced to new recovery protocols on day one, including individualized hydration testing and muscle readiness scans. It's a sign the franchise is investing in long-term sustainability. After practice, multiple players commented on how different the energy is this year. "This feels like a team that expects to win," said Erica Wheeler. Others echoed that this is the most competitive, focused camp they've ever been in. That mentality shift? It could define the Fever's entire season. Even in half-speed drills, defenders were over-rotating on Clark due to her ability to hit cross-court skips, behind-the-back wraparounds, and no-look dishes. It's clear teams will need to pick their poison, guard her deep pull-ups, or overhelp and get burned by her vision. The Fever want to dominate inside, and day one featured several drills focused entirely on clean, timed entry passes to Boston and Smith. Clark and Mitchell were coached on angles and timing, ensuring Indiana can punish mismatches in the post consistently. Wheeler, a former All-Star, knows her role has shifted, but she's embraced it fully, becoming a second-unit general who relays plays, helps younger players find spots, and maintains tempo. She's poised to be the emotional and strategic anchor off the bench. Head coach Christie Sides said it clearly: "We want to run teams off the floor." That was evident as nearly half of day one focused on rebound-to-break drills, emphasizing outlets, sprint lanes, and early threes. Clark and Mitchell were given the green light to push relentlessly. The tempo of camp left no room for anyone out of shape. A few newcomers struggled to keep pace with the Fever's fast-paced physical training blocks. Coaches made it clear: fitness and effort are prerequisites. Reputations mean nothing this year. Clark ran PRs with Boston, Smith, and Turner, all with different reads. Boston pops, Smith dives, and Turner short rolls for handoffs. The team is layering in multiple options to keep defenses guessing, and poor closeouts hurt the Fever last year, especially against teams that could drive off the catch. Day one featured rapid-fire drills on high-hand contests, body control, and sprint-to-slide fundamentals. Brianna Turner and Kristy Wallace shined in these stations. Smith came in with something to prove. She was vocal in huddles, demanded the ball in the post, and barked defensive instructions during scrimmages. This is a different Smith, one with an edge and a goal to elevate her standing in the WNBA hierarchy. The two budding stars connected seamlessly in early action. Clark hit Boston on a pocket pass for a layup, and Boston returned the favor with a high-screen flare that freed Clark for a deep three. The synergy is natural and scary for opponents. Fever executives weren't just observing, they were evaluating. GM Lynn Dunn and her team were vocal during practice, noting tempo, toughness, and chemistry. This team isn't being built just to compete. It's being built to win, soon. Sophie brought her trademark grit immediately. She bodied up guards, hit tough shots, and never stopped chirping. Her presence brings accountability. Every drill she entered became more intense, something this young roster needed. A year ago, Clark was criticized for occasional loose footwork under pressure. On day one, she looked tight, composed, and explosive. Her off-the-dribble step-backs and jab series were clean, showing serious work over the offseason. Coach Sides and defensive assistant Jesse Miller made it clear: no defense, no minutes. The message was reinforced in drills where missed rotations led to immediate substitutions. Accountability is the foundation of this team's new identity. Forget easing into camp. Players dove for loose balls, boxed out aggressively, and played full-contact half-court scrimmages. Veterans tested rookies, and nobody backed down. It felt like a playoff-level session, not a day-one walkthrough. You could feel it. This isn't the same Fever team. There's urgency, there's hunger, and there's a collective understanding that with Caitlin Clark, expectations have changed. Day one set the tone, not just for the season, but for a new era in Indiana basketball.